The village square was bathed in the flickering glow of torches, the air thick with the scent of burning herbs and fear. The priest's voice boomed over the hushed crowd, his skeletal fingers clutching a rusted dagger. "The Wolf King demands a sacrifice," he thundered. "A virgin, pure of heart, or his beasts will slaughter us all." Asterisk. The villagers murmured, their eyes darting toward the trembling figure in the center. Her. An orphan. Alone. "No, please," her voice was a whisper, lost beneath the rising chant of the mob. Rough hands seized her, dragging her toward the blood-stained altar. "You should be honored," the priest hissed, his breath reeking of rot. "Your life will spare ours." She thrashed, her heart hammering. "I don't want to die." A cruel laugh. "What you want doesn't matter." The dagger glinted in the firelight. She squeezed her eyes shut. Then the wind howled. A gust so violent it snuffed out the torches, plunging the square into darkness. The villagers screamed. And then, silence. A low, guttural growl rumbled through the night. Her eyes flew open. A massive black wolf stood at the edge of the square. Its fur was like shadows given form, its golden eyes burning like twin suns in the dark. The beast stalked forward, each step deliberate, deadly. Its gaze locked onto hers, and she couldn't look away. Then, it began to change. Muscles twisted, bones cracked, fur receding into smooth, sun-kissed skin. The wolf rose onto two legs, its form stretching, reshaping, until a man stood in its place. Tall. Savage, the dark marks swirling across his chest like living tattoos. "The Wolf King," someone whimpered. He stepped forward, his movements liquid, predatory. His gaze never left hers. "This is the offering?" His voice was deep, rough, a beast's voice wrapped in a man's tongue. The priest bowed. "Why yes, my king." A virgin, untouched. The king's lip curled. "I decide what pleases me." He circled her, nostrils flaring as he inhaled her scent. She shuddered as his claws, long, black, deadly, traced the curve of her throat. "You fear me." A statement, not a question. She swallowed. "Shouldn't I?" A dark chuckle. "Smart girl." Then, without warning, he gripped her waist and yanked her against him. His body was pure heat, his strength undeniable. What are you?" "Claiming what's mine." The villagers gasped. The priest paled. "My king, the ritual." A snarl ripped from the king's throat. "You think I need your pathetic rituals?" The king's grip tightened. "I take what I want." And then, he bit her. Not hard enough to break skin, but enough to brand her. She cried out as his teeth pressed into the juncture of her neck and shoulder, his growl vibrating through her bones. When he pulled back, his eyes were wild, possessive. "Mine," he declared. Before she could protest, he threw her over his shoulder and vanished into the night. The girl woke to the scent of fur and smoke, her body aching from the rough handling of the night before. She bolted upright, heart hammering. He was there. The Wolf King lounged in a high-backed chair by the fire, his golden eyes reflecting the flames. His arms crossed over his chest. A smirk played on his lips as he watched her. "Finally awake, little lamb?" Her fingers clenched the sheets. "Where am I?" "My chambers." He unfolded himself from the chair, moving with predatory grace. "You'll stay here." She scrambled back. "No, I want to go home." A dark chuckle. "You don't have one." The truth of it stung. She swallowed hard. "Then let me leave." "I'm not yours." In a flash, he was in front of on her, holding her waist. His breath hot against her ear. "Say that again." She trembled but glared up at him. "I'm not yours." His nostrils flared. Then, slowly, he dragged his nose along her throat, inhaling deeply. "Liar." His tongue flicked out, tasting her pulse. Your scent is already changing. Adapting. To me. She shivered. That's not. It is. He nipped her collarbone, just hard enough to sting. Her face burned. You're a monster. And you're trembling. His hand slid up her thigh, squeezing. But not from fear. She gasped as his thumb brushed the sensitive skin of her inner thigh. Stop. Make me. His grin was all teeth. She shoved at his chest. It was like pushing a mountain. He laughed, low and rough. Cute. Then he leaned down, his lips a hair's breadth from hers. Beg me to stop. Maybe I'll listen. Her breath hitched. His scent, pine and smoke and something wild, filled her lungs. I hate you, she whispered. Good. He licked the shell of her ear. Hate me as much as you want. But never forget, his teeth grazed her earlobe. You belong to me. Then he was gone, striding toward the door. Rest, he threw over his shoulder. Tomorrow, I'll show you what happens to little lambs who bite their king. The door slammed shut. Alone, she finally let out the breath she'd been holding, and hated the way her skin still burned where he'd touched her. The girl sat by the window, sunlight catching in her honey blonde hair as she laughed at something the young guard said. Liam, kind-eyed, human Liam, leaned against the doorframe, a rare smile softening his usually stern features. A growl echoed through the corridor. The Wolf King stood in the doorway, his golden eyes burning. His claws extended, scraping against the stone wall as he took in the scene, her smile, their closeness. Liam immediately dropped to one knee. My king, I was just. Leave. The command vibrated with barely contained fury. The girl stiffened. He wasn't doing anything wrong. The king's gaze snapped to hers. You defend him? His voice was dangerously quiet. Shadows seemed to cling to him as he crossed the room in 3 strides, his massive frame crowding her against the window. Liam paled but didn't move. The king snarled, a sound more beast than man, and suddenly, fur rippled across his skin. His jaw elongated, fangs glinting. The girl gasped but stood her ground. Stop it. For a heartbeat, the beast hesitated. Then, with a vicious snap of his teeth, he shifted back, his human hands gripping her waist. Never, he hissed, let another man make you smile like that. His mouth crashed onto hers, a claiming, a punishment. When he pulled away, his thumb swiped roughly over her bottom lip. Or I'll tear his throat out. Liam was already gone. Alone with the king, her pulse roared in her ears. And the worst part? She hadn't hated the kiss. The girl stood before the gilded mirror, adjusting the thin strap of her nightgown. Moonlight poured through the window, turning the sheer fabric translucent against her curves. She inhaled sharply, this would work. If she bored him, he'd let her go. The door creaked open. Playing dress up, little lamb? The Wolf King leaned against the frame, arms crossed. His gaze raked over her, lingering where the silk clung to her hips. She forced a smirk. Do you like it? A muscle twitched in his jaw. You think this will make me tire of you? Her breath hitched, he knew. He prowled forward, trapping her against the mirror. His heat seeped into her back as his hands slid around her waist. You want to tease me? His lips brushed her ear. Then do it properly. His teeth grazed her neck, and she gasped. His chuckle vibrated against her skin. Your pulse doesn't lie. She twisted in his grip. I hate you. Liar. He spun her around, crushing her against him. You tremble when I touch you. His thumb traced her lower lip. Your breath quickens. She glared. You're arrogant. And you're mine. His mouth crashed onto hers, swallowing her protest. When he pulled away, his eyes glowed. Try harder next time. Then he was gone, leaving her flushed and furious that her body had responded. Moonlight bathed the hidden glade as the Wolf King led her through silver-woven trees. The girl hesitated, but his grip, strangely gentle, urged her forward. "Where are we?" A chorus of howls answered. Shadows shifted, revealing wolves with glowing eyes. But these weren't beasts, they were children, their fur patchy as they tumbled in play. The king's stern expression softened. "My pack." A small wolf pup bounded over, nipping at his boot. He scooped it up, scratching behind its ears. "Weaklings," he muttered, but his voice held warmth. The girl reached out. The pup licked her fingers. The king watched her, something unreadable in his gaze. "They're safe here. As you are." Her chest tightened. This brutal man had a home, a family. When a child shifted clumsily into human form, giggling, the king sighed. Disgraceful. But he ruffled the boy's hair. The girl smiled. His thumb brushed her cheek, startling her. "You see me now," he murmured. And for the first time, she did. Arrows rained down. "Die, beast!" The villagers screamed. The forest erupted with screams. Arrows whistled past, thudding into flesh. "Run!" Liam shouted, but the girl stood frozen as villagers charged, torches blazing. A snarl split the night. The Wolf King crashed between her and death, taking an arrow to the shoulder. Blood sprayed as he roared, shifting mid-leap fury, fangs, fury. She screamed as he fell. The attackers hesitated. Then, a miracle. Her hands glowed where they pressed against his wound. Light pulsed through his fur, knitting flesh. The king gasped, human again, his fingers lacing with hers. "You." His voice was raw. The villagers fled. She collapsed against him, shaking. His arms locked around her, not trapping. Holding. "Mate," he growled into her hair. And when his lips found hers, it wasn't possession. It was a vow. His kiss was a claim, a promise, forever. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like and subscribe.